It's the scandal that rocked figure skating and the 2022 Beijing Olympics. Russian superstar Kamila Valieva, only 15 years old at the time, had helped the Russian team win the team gold and was on her way to winning her individual event when the world came crashing down. She had failed a previous drug test and should never have competed in Beijing. The investigation that followed took 2.5 years. This morning, finally, the International Skating Union disqualified Valieva, removing her points from the team total. This means Team USA, which had finished in second, is now the Olympic champion. Japan moves up from third to second. Russia moves down from first to third, and Canada remains in fourth. More on that later. But what this means is 9 American Olympians will receive their long-awaited gold medals for the team competition, including 2 Bay Area skaters, Vincent Zhou of San Jose and Karen Chen of Fremont. Joining us live now is their teammate, Olympic ice dancing bronze medalist, and now team gold medalist, Madison Hubbell. Hi, Madison. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, Kristen. I'm happy to be here.
I am just delighted that you're making the time on this huge day. I guess I got to start with congratulations. I know it's kind of trite, but I have to ask you, how does it feel?
It's super exciting. Of course, I can't wait to actually be with my teammates once again and celebrate all together.
I'm sure. It's got to be, I imagine, bittersweet for all of you for this moment to come 2.5 years later?
Of course, we all wished that it would come at the actual Olympic Games and we'd be able to share that moment, you know, when it happened. But we are excited that it's resolved in this way, and we can't wait to figure out what the celebration is going to look like.
There you are. I know you didn't have the medal ceremony at the Olympics for that event, although you did win your bronze for your ice dancing, which huge congrats for that as well. But look at this. Have you talked to some of the teammates?
I have, yeah. We are still in touch, especially with Madison Chalk and Evan Bates, who are actually still competing. They're the last of the team to still be competing internationally. And we are really excited about the outcome, but certainly it did feel like a long journey to get here. And I have to thank all of them for pushing just as much as we all did and our federation did to get this, you know, this outcome.
I know this is mainly a day for a celebration, for a long overdue honor, but I also want to use this opportunity to kind of touch on what can be better, right, about the process. I know many people have criticized the skating's international governing body, the ISU, for taking 2.5 years. Do you feel as though there was some feet dragging, or that it could have gone a lot more quickly?
I have to imagine that this is how it feels for most bureaucratic processes. It does take quite a while for everyone to appeal and make their, you know, arguments. But certainly, I think all athletes deserve a quicker resolution, and that's what we were fighting for, is for the future generations to be able to actually resolve it within the weeks of the Olympic Games and have their Olympic moment when it counts.
And this might be a tough one, but I wonder, what is your view of Kamila Valieva? In stories, she's either the victim or she's the villain. What do you think?
Unfortunately, I think the truth lies in both. You know, yes, she was young. There are a lot of young participants in that particular discipline of figure skating, but it is known by every single participant what the rules are, what the doping rules are. It's very clearly written. So whether she knew that she was taking something or not, she is at fault, and she isn't the first athlete to, you know, experience that, whether it was intentional or no. And I think, unfortunately, like the outcome worked as it needed to, but I do feel for her. I don't think anyone should have to go through that, and certainly not someone so young.
She got a 4-year ban, but I think it's retroactive. That means she will be eligible for the next Olympics, right?
Correct, yeah.
All right. And she is still young, so she does still have a future. But as you stated, she's not the only one. And I believe Russia competed not under the name of Russia, but the Russian Olympic Committee for past infractions, if you will. So what is it that's not functioning well systematically, if you will? And what do you think needs to happen to ensure these stories won't keep happening?
It's a really difficult answer. I mean, I'm not part, obviously, of the Russian Federation, so I can only speak to the speculation of athletes from the outside, but certainly there seems to be a systemic culture of wanting to find the next advantage. And I can say that from the US perspective, growing up in our own system, that was never a concern. They never were investigating ways to medically advance your performance. And so I think it's a really tough solution to find, but certainly more stringent doping measures and certainly faster reaction times, since she was caught doping before the games even began.
Yeah. It is a very different system here in the U.S. Do you feel like for figure skaters growing up here that there is good attention paid to not only integrity, I think that part is certainly true, but also health and mental health?
Absolutely. I think US figure skating in general is leading the way when it comes to athlete care from a very young age. When you're participating on Team USA, it is very thorough the way that they take care of their athletes, from mental health, nutrition, medical. We are really taught how to take care of ourselves as adults from a very young age, and that the responsibility falls totally on ourselves.
It's amazing how long your career was as well. I know you recently retired, and I want to touch on what you're doing now in just a little bit. But I want to also, before we move on from this topic, I know that it's not over because, yes, USA is getting the gold, but I understand that Skate Canada is protesting as well. In fact, they put a message out on social today essentially saying they should have been the bronze medalists now and not the Russians because Valieva wasn't first in her portion of the team competition since that was vacated. The other competitors should have been awarded more points because they would have ranked higher without her, and that would have put Canada over Russia. Did the ISU make another mistake here, you think?
In my opinion, it is a mistake. Even that, of course, that argument of needing to give an extra point to everyone who placed below Valieva is, of course, I think accurate, and it even says such in the rules of ISU. But furthermore, it's a team event, and the entire structure of team events within the Olympic Games relies on every single member, following the rules of doping. So just like any other sport, if somebody were to be caught, their teammates would unfortunately suffer the consequences. So I'm anxious to see how quickly that part of this process can now be resolved.
All right. Well, Madison, I know you have a lot of fans, so I didn't think you needed the full intro. But for those who don't know, you grew up in Michigan, right? But now you are living in Canada, where I think you're coaching and choreographing. Is that right?
Absolutely, yes. So I had the opportunity to join Scott Moyer, the most decorated Olympic figure skater of all time, at his academy here in London, Ontario. My husband and I are working together with Scott and several other coaches and trying to, help develop the next generation of ice dancers and Olympians. And it's just been a whirlwind of 2 years, but really exciting.
Yes, and you got married too. Congratulations, that's all amazing. When do you think you'll have that gold medal in hand, and when you'll get together for that long delayed ceremony?
I think a lot of the Winter Olympians have always dreamed of attending a Summer Games. That's something that we all talk about, wondering what that experience would be like. And certainly having it resolved now gives us some months to possibly, maybe, attend the Paris Summer Games and have a moment there as a team. If it doesn't work out, certainly we want a moment on the Olympic stand. And so that only comes every 2 years. So hopefully the Olympic Committee is willing to kind of support us in that dream.
Well, Madison Hubbell, you've had an incredible career, and this is just the icing on top. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.